Hong Kong's education department caused anger last month by briefly posting on its website the claim that Cantonese was not an official language of Hong Kong. After a strong protest, officials removed the text. But was the claim correct? The law says that Chinese and English are Hong Kong's official languages. Whereas some people say that Cantonese is a dialect of Chinese, others insist that it is a language in its own right. Who is right? And how do dialects or regional tongues differ from languages in general? Two kinds of criteria distinguish languages from dialects. The first is social and political. In this view, languages are typically influential, official and written, whereas dialects are mostly spoken, unofficial and looked down upon. To quote a famous phrase expressing this view, a language is a dialect with an army and a navy. Speakers of mere dialects often refer to their speech as slang, patois, or the like. The Mandarin Chinese term for Cantonese, Shanghai's, and others is fangyan, or place speech. Linguists have a different criterion. If two related kinds of speech are so close that speakers can have a conversation and understand each other, they are dialects of a single language. If comprehension is difficult or impossible, they are distinct languages. Of course, understandability is not either-or, but something continuous, and it may even be asymmetrical. Nonetheless, mutual comprehension is the most objective basis for saying whether two kinds of speech are languages or dialects. According to the criterion of understandability, Cantonese is not a dialect of Chinese. Rather, it is a language, as are Shanghai's, Mandarin, and other kinds of Chinese. Although the languages are obviously related, a Mandarin speaker cannot understand Cantonese or Shanghai's without having learned it as a foreign language. And the opposite is true, though most Chinese do learn Mandarin today. Most Western linguists classify them as Sinitic languages, not dialects of Chinese. Some languages in China, like Uyghur, are not Sinitic at all. Objective though it may be, this criterion can annoy nationalists, and not just in China. Danes and Norwegians can communicate, making some linguists classify the two as dialects of a single language, though few Danes or Norwegians think this way. In China, the picture is further confused by the fact that one written form brings Chinese language speakers together, though mainland Chinese write with a simplified version of the characters used in Hong Kong and Taiwan. But this written form is not a universal Chinese. It is based on Mandarin. The confusion arises because many people consider written language to be the real language and speech its poor cousin. The same reasoning can be used to classify Arabic as a single language, though a Moroccan and a Syrian, say, cannot easily understand each other. Ethnologue, a reference guide to the world's languages, calls Chinese and Arabic macro-languages, noting both their shared literature and the difficulty of mutual, spoken, comprehension of many local varieties, which it calls languages. For the most part, linguists consider spoken language primary. Speech is universal, whereas only a small number of the world's 6,000, 7,000 languages are written. This is behind the linguist's common sense definition. Two people share a language if they can have a conversation without too much trouble.